critical Christians on my Instagram now have become such a turnoff to people who are actually seeking God.
If you don't know, well, now you know. Kat Von D, she was a part of the occult, open Satan worshiper. She was just a part of that area of life. And she recently was baptized and she came to Christ and she got a lot of backlash for it. Believe it or not, something that you would think, especially in our community, something you would think would be something that you would be excited about, something that we would praise about, turned into something that I don't think that she expected to get especially from the Christian audience. And she definitely spoke back about it, giving us a little bit of, response as to what she went through after getting baptized and kind of her point on it. And I definitely want to share that with you guys here. We're going to watch this video here where she talked about it in an interview. A couple of things and just a few that I want to point out. Number one, we're getting ready to watch it. She talked about how critical the Christians were in that comment section. She did her baptism, and yeah, she had some of her friends that were there that were still in the occult. She had some people there that were unbelievers, and people were bashing her for that. How could you have that baptism there where you had all these other devil worshipers there? And maybe people were saying that she was doing it for clout, and there was so many other reasons that she was getting. And let's hear what she had to say about it.
Critical Christians on my Instagram now have become such a turnoff to people who are actually seeking God that I had to just block and delete. Like, even if it's good stuff, I just if people talk about, this is not for you, And it's you end up pushing people away. And the one person that I think about through all this is my husband, because when we got together, we were both not Christian, we got married, and then he's really helped me without knowing find my way. And he's not necessarily on the same page. I mean, in some ways he is, he's very supportive. We go to church together, every Sunday. He always supports me. We pray together. But there's parts of him that's still questioning. And
yeah, that's the sad part. Just think about that. Those critical Christians that were in the comment section, and those critical Christians that I know that all of us kind of know, maybe one of them, maybe more than one of them, maybe a few. But there's always those Christians that they believe that they have this understanding that they know everything. They know everything, and that there's only one way to meet to God. But the problem that I find with that is a lot of people put limitations on God, and they don't even realize that they're putting a limit on God. Now, where some people had an argument that in the comment section, this is what she was talking about because she broadcasted that baptism, where some people had issues with who was in attendance there and if this was real and all that, and oh, you can do this, but it wasn't done this way, and just all that tradition of men talk that a lot of Christians come in with. One group of people thought that it was false or that it was wrong or that it was wrongdoing. But on my side of the thing, what I would say is that here you have someone who was openly, platform was known for being a part of the occult and probably witchcraft and a lot of those other things that was going on. She was openly involved in that, and you have this person that was involved in that, and she turned to Christ, and she's getting ready to talk about her epiphany here. I'm going to show you that and why she came to Christ. But she had this whole turnaround and broadcasted it, and when you have a big following like that, kind of same thing happened with the YouTuber Gideon here on the platform. When you have a big following like that and you turn to Christ, there's always going to be people. Always, no matter what, there's always going to be people who are preying on your downfall. They do not want you to take this new route. But the people that don't want you to take this new route, those people that are bashing on you making one of the most best decisions you can ever make in your life, giving yourself to Jesus Christ, the people that we're bashing are usually the people that she's getting ready to talk about right now, which really leads into her whole epiphany as to why she decided to step into Christianity and give her life to Christ altogether. Let's get into this.
They're all so miserable. Yeah. And they're the most broke people. Usually most of them are single. They don't have stability. And I'm talking about both financial and the love around them. Right. There's always this drama and dread and doom and gloom. And I was one of them, Yeah. And it's that's one thing that I would look around at my Christian friends and I'm they're not perfect by any means. Yeah. But I want what you have, I love the light that you have. And it's so we're like, let's not be dummies anymore, and let's just like figure out what this obviously hasn't worked for us, let's
Yeah.
like explore this.
Let's give it a try. Let's give it a shot. I mean, that's really what it is. And for anybody who's been out here and who's told you anything negative about Christ, anything negative about God, let me be the one to tell you that, number one, God does not hate you. He's not angry at you. He's not mad at you. He's not this vindictive, angry character that everyone tries to make him out to be. No. As she said, she was a part of of a community. She was surrounded by people, her non-Christian friends, as she said, and they were the people that, as she said, were miserable people. Why? God provides peace, man. He does. I can attest to this. I'm not a perfect person, even here. Don't let the platforms fool you. Don't let anything fool you. Don't even let knowledge or anything fool you. All I did was study information that anyone here watching this video can study and then go talk about it with a mic. That's all I did. I'm not the Messiah. I'm not the return. There's nothing special about me. There's nothing special about any of us besides the fact that God created us and that God has purposed us by design. That's what's special. But me as an individual, us as an individual, we don't matter as much as we make ourselves matter. God's the one that matters. So when I put myself in that position, when we put ourselves in that position, it makes life just a little bit easier. It makes life a little bit easier. No one said that just because we step into this relationship with Christ, things are going to be peaches and cream. Everything's always going to be great. No, we're waiting for the return of the Messiah. We're waiting for Christ to come. We're waiting for the gates of heaven to open for us to receive that peaches and cream lifestyle. But right here, right now, we're in battle. We're in battle. So, yeah, we may wrestle a little bit. It might get a little tough. It might get a little, weary here and there. But when you have Christ, when you have that relationship, you're able to withstand. You're able to carry on. And that's the problem that I find in the community right now with Christians, is that message isn't being shared. So people, even like she mentioned about, her husband, she's going to talk about it. Like, think about that destruction with all those people that were sending those rude, negative comments under her platform. And her husband hasn't really, stepped over and accepted Christ and went and got baptized yet. But I believe that desire it could be put there. But when you see, okay, I'm going to step into the Christian community, and even the Christians, after I've stepped into the community, they still have negative things to say. So they have negative things to say about us when we don't step into their community. And they also have negative things to say even when we do step into the community. When we're against God, they have negative things to say. And when we come to God, they have negative things to say. Let me be the one to tell you here on this platform, if no other content creator has told you this, we are not the middlemans between people and God. We are not the judge. We do not have a say-so of whether things are right or whether things are wrong. At the end of the day, the way the world is right now and everything that people are going through, couldn't it just be good enough that we had someone who really gave her life to Christ and got baptized with the platform she's in? Turn away from the occult. Things aren't going to be perfect right at the gate. Even right here, I've been baptized for years, and there's still things that I have to learn. There's still things that I am not perfect in. We are not perfect beings. We're sinful by nature. That's why we need Jesus Christ. Simple as that. But let me show you this. Let me show you this. I'm going to keep this going. She's talking about that destruction, how all that negative things, all the negative things that sometimes we as Christians can do, all that judgment, all that unsolicited advice and commentary that we place under people's platforms sometimes. Think about the destruction that it does, and how that starts to affect, other people wanting to step into the kingdom and other people wanting to step into relationship with Christ. She talks about how she, gets a little bit worried about how her husband, when he saw all the hatred that she was getting from the Christian community, why would I want to be a part of that? I don't want to be a part of that. Let's get into this. Let's hear what she has to say.
You don't realize how much harm you're doing. Like I would look at a lot of the comments that I got, and they were really cruel and very, very annoyingly holier than thou. And I would look at some of them and say, okay, let's look at like what is to be gained from this comment. Like, who does it help? Like, to be a know-it-all. Like, who does it help? Does it help me? Does it help all my other followers following and like witnessing the judgment and the criticism and definitely of not knowing the other person?
Mic drop. Kat Von D. right there. Who does it benefit? Bible talks about that when we speak, make sure that the things that we speak on, it edifies others. It can be used for the benefit to uplift, not to tear down. Our tongue's powerful. The things we say, it has power. Life and death, it lies in the power of the tongue. So you have to realize how much destruction what you say does to people. Like, there's too much power in it. And when you have people that just say whatever they want to say, you really want to think about, what is this doing? Like, what purpose does this serve? What I'm saying right now, what purpose is it going to serve? And with everything going on in the world today, we should be thankful. Bible says that the angels in heaven, they rejoice for a sinner who repents. These things take time, guys. These things take time. And you have so many Christians that believe that they've already made the mark, that their spot is so guaranteed, but their heart and their character, it's so rotten. It's so rotten. And those are the people that feel that they're the ones that should be out there spreading the gospel. But as I always say in plenty of my videos, the gospel is good news. If someone told you right now, you just won $1 million, that's good news. You're going to be happy about it. You're going to want to share that with other people. You're going to want to tell them, hey, guess what? I just won $1 million. Well, that is what the gospel of Christ is. It's good news. So when you hear about it, it's good. Like she said about her friends, I'm watching my friends. I understand they're not perfect, because perfection is not the goal. Christ is. He's the perfect one. The closer we get to him, the more we feel secure. The more safe we feel, the more peace we get. Perfection's not the goal. But a lot of people in this Christian community, we're pushing people away. We're tearing people away. And we're making Christ out to be something that he's not. This is good news, guys. He died to save the world. You, me, everyone, anyone watching this video. This is good news, guys. This is good news. Because if you believe on that, you have eternal life. You'll meet him again. And then you will have a life that's peaches and cream. This is good news, guys. This is good news. Thank you guys for tuning in, man. I appreciate it as always. If you stayed this long, I definitely appreciate you guys. To the next one, that's all I got for you. Till then.